There's strength in different points of view, in teamwork.
The Justice League, then?
The Tomorrowverse is nearing its end, and I haven't ranked these movies since Beware My Power release, so I thought why not give an updated ranking up to Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 1. I didn't include shorts last time, and that's going to remain the same outside of Constantine, the House of Mystery, because it's just far too important an entry in this universe of films for me to exclude. I've reviewed all these movies in the past, so I'll be keeping it relatively brief for most of these. Now on to my ranking of all 8 Tomorrowverse films. Number 8, Justice League Warworld. I just thought this movie was boring and did not care about really anything. I haven't bothered rewatching it, and I'm not sure if I ever will. It wasn't the worst thing ever, but it did drag for much of its runtime. Number 7 is Green Lantern Beware My Power. My main issue with this film is there's little to no substance. Characters and the relationships aren't really fleshed out much. They just throw a bunch of information in your face and hope you go with it. It would have hit a lot harder if we actually got to experience some of those moments, either in this film or in previous installments. This is a connected universe, for crying out loud. Number 6, Legion of Superheroes. Kinda similar to Beware My Power, this movie feeds you information and throws unnecessary twists at the audience. It's named Legion of Superheroes, but it may as well have been the Supergirl and Brainiac 5 hour. The movie's fine, it just tries to do too much, and some things really just don't work. At number 5 is Justice Society World War II. In a way, this film serves as a setup to this universe's version of the Justice League. As an Elseworld story, I think it's fine. I found a lot of the plot to be pretty predictable. More specifically, the character deaths in this one you could see coming from a mile away. I thought Flash and Wonder Woman were probably the standouts in this one. I really like Black Canary from what I remember too. We are halfway through the list, and kicking off the second half at number 4 is Constantine, the House of Mystery. I just think John Constantine is one of DC's coolest characters, and I find a lot of things that are relatable about him. I mean, the guy's extremely human, and seeing how much he suffers purely from blaming himself is crushing. The character moments with him in this short are fantastic. His conversation with the Spectre is extremely heavy. His fate at the end is horrific. It's a short entirely about Constantine paying for his decision at the end of Apocalypse War, paying for his sins, so to speak. And it goes hand in hand with the next entry, number 3, Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 1. Maybe it's unfair to even rank this since it's an incomplete story, but whatever. I think the previous entry, House of Mystery, actually elevates the movie, and vice versa. Most character moments with the Flash are great, the Justice League moments are fun. Whatever may be a bit confusing now will hopefully be explained in the future with the next 2 parts, so this could very well move up in the future, could also move down, but that's not what we hope for here. Runner-up is Superman Man of Tomorrow. This might be the Tomorrowverse movie that the animation threw me off the most. I'm not sure if it's because it's the first or it's the brightest and most vibrant. I've said in the past I find that this animation style works better with darker backgrounds, in my eyes at least. But truth be told, I can get over that, and for the most part this movie is just really good. I think it's a strong showing for the character of Superman. I like when Lex is a villain, but his role is almost that of a middleman, as it was in this movie. Of course he's Lex, so his motives are always entirely selfish in the end. Lobo was one of the most entertaining characters through the entire Tomorrowverse. I love the dynamic between Superman and Martian Manhunter, the growth of Clark's character, how much his morals are showcased throughout this movie. Parasite is one of the most tragic characters that they've written in this universe. I really felt bad for Rudy. This man didn't deserve to be put in the situation he was, to be transformed into quite literally a monster. I don't know, man. This movie does a good job of conveying emotion. It actually has a lot to say about society, but none of that ever really feels forced. It's a damn good Superman movie. And at number 1, of course, it's Batman The Long Halloween. I don't find many problems with this film. I've said before, my only real big issue with it is Batman's reaction to Gilda at the end of Part 2. Other than that, Batman feels very much in character for both parts of the movie. I love that a big part of this 2-part movie is Bruce learning to become a detective. It's like a necessary detour for Batman. It's not something he planned for, but he's entered a situation during his crusade where it's become necessary. And this is only going to make him a better crime fighter. It forces him to use his intellect in ways he hadn't in the past. The dynamic he has with the likes of Alfred, Gordon, and Dent are all great in their own right. The detective trio of Batman, Gordon, and District Attorney Harvey Dent is extremely entertaining to watch. Harvey's personal motives to take down Falcone make everything within the film that much more enthralling. His descent into madness once he becomes Two-Face is absolutely tragic. Joker steals the show in part 1 of The Long Halloween. Part 2, Two-Face steps up as the main villain. Holiday is what ties all these characters to one another in some way. And of course, the Falcone story arc ties the whole plot together as well. I even like some of the quiet moments in this movie because it just adds to the tone of it for me. Calendar Man was a super cool character in this thing. I mean, come on, Batman The Long Halloween is awesome. There you have it, my updated ranking of the Tomorrowverse films, including one short, Constantine, the House of Mystery. It's always kind of fun to do these updated rankings after a while. You know, there's been like 4 more entries, or, well, I didn't include House of Mystery, so 3 more entries since the last time I did this, and including House of Mystery this time makes 4 additionals that I didn't rank the last time, so, you know, it makes it actually fun to look back on and see what's kind of changed. Power of hindsight and not a whole lot of recency bias, you know. And since the Tomorrowverse will be officially ending after Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 3, I'll probably do an updated ranking of these same installments after Crisis Part 3 with all 3 parts of Crisis to rank on this list, because who knows, maybe it could move up to above The Long Halloween. I think Part 1 was good, even though, like I said, I thought it did feel rushed, but that's not a bad thing all the time. I think they handled part 1 well enough, and I'm hoping that continues with part 2. I'm hoping I even like part 2 more than I like part 1. So, let me know your ranking of the Tomorrowverse movies down in the comments below. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next time.